You know what's hard to watch was Jason Garrett coming out to watch over Dak as he was lying on the ground with his ankle facing the wrong way. Coach that guy all those years and had to watch that happen.
That was pretty sad.
Yeah,
I will say that. I think Dak in a contract year like this.
That's exactly he's not getting paid.
Oh my gosh,
he lost his bag. That's tough.
No, Jerry Jones won, which is terrible.
They always win. No one ever gets paid in the NFL. Le'Veon, all those years in the Steelers, give me a contract.
That's not true. People get paid. It's just not.
They don't get the long term. Le'Veon, got franchise tagged so many times, and finally he just goes to the Jets, and he got paid on the Jets, but now he just gets cut again. There's so many guys in the NFL that want that big money, and they just keep getting franchise tagged until they get hurt, and then they never get the money. That happens to a player every year.
Well, what do you think is the perk if you're the owner? Guaranteed contracts in the NFL, it's kind of a weird thing of you as a fan, you're I think I want this player to get a guaranteed contract, and because every fan thinks they can be a GM, as soon as you put them in that chair, you look at it and you're it actually doesn't make sense to give a running back a guaranteed contract.
No. Running backs only good for 4 years,
and that's a hard thing. I think when you look at a guy like Zeke, when you look at a guy well, we thought Todd Gurley, right? And you're they're going to be good for a while. I think Todd Gurley is a great example. All of a sudden, he was great. He was literally you're talking about one of the best offensive weapons in the league.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, there's this little scare, and then
he's got arthritis. He's got
it was chronic.
Apart.
It was chronic, and all he was 1 year removed from being this explosive player to is he going to play in the Super Bowl? I don't know. Something's going on with him, and no one really knows what it is. It's kind of like Andrew Luck.
He was a decoy for the whole playoffs. He didn't get the ball. He was just a distraction.
No, and Bill Belichick did not fall for it.
Not at all. Hard Super Bowl to watch.
That was definitely one of the worst Super Bowls. But I feel bad for Le'Veon. I especially feel bad for Dak. I think Dak, given almost any other owner, I think would have been a lot more quicker to give him a long-term deal. Because the thing about Dak is, he hasn't proved himself to be an elite quarterback. He hasn't. But he's a very good quarterback. And I think if the Cowboys and you got a guy like Zeke and you just work on the defense, he's a guy that can get you there. And I think he's still learning and developing and whatnot. I just don't think that Jerry Jones, there was a Gridiron Heights episode that was hilarious. It was the MVP race, but Mario Kart. And Jerry Jones was I'm going to see how you do without gas to warrant how much gas I should give you. And then Dak just gets up and runs, sprints after the other people just driving away. And I think it's funny, but it's honestly true. Jerry Jones saying I want you to see what happens if it's the organization doesn't believe in you, to warrant if we should believe in you. And as soon as someone gets hurt, can we blame Dak if he was just fuck the Cowboys and just doesn't ever want to play another snap for him?
No, you can't. His ankle. I saw it was Gordon Hayward, and it was Gordon Hayward-esque, and I think that by next season he should be fine. But Hayward has not looked the same since, so it's concerning in that aspect. But Dak, he could have gotten $30 million a year. It wasn't he wasn't getting a good offer. He wanted the best contract in NFL history. Which do you blame him a little bit for not just taking a huge deal?
Well, it's more he knows he's smart,
Yeah.
The biggest deal in NFL, whatever, a big deal in the NFL for a quarterback in 3 years is the normal. And if you don't get ahead, you're gonna be left behind. That's the way the NFL, or at least quarterback contracts work. That's why you look at a Mahomes contract and you think is that obscene amount of money? Is that literal Jeff Bezos amount of money? Is that actually a good deal for the Chiefs? Because when you think about it, if he does somehow play out that entire contract with the Chiefs, that is so worth it for the Chiefs, which is crazy to think.
Yeah.